Bunjitsu Bunny versus Bunjitsu Bunny by John Millen. Isabel was the best Bunjitsu artist in her school. She could kick higher than anyone. She could hit harder than anyone. She could throw her classmates farther than anyone. Some were frightened of her, but Isabel never hurt another creature she had to. Bunjitsu is not just about kicking, hitting, and throwing. She said, it is about finding ways not to kick, hit, and throw. They called her Bunjitsu Bunny. Listen, a bunny can travel for miles while sitting in one spot, said teacher to his Bunjitsu students. That is impossible, said Kyle. No, said teacher. You can travel with your ears. I want you all to go sit in the woods and listen. How far can you hear? The bunnies did as teacher asked. All I hear are breathing bunnies, whispered Kyle. I hear Ben's tapping foot, said Wendy. I hear the breeze in the leaves, said Ben. What do you hear? Ben asked. Label. Isabel. Yeah, Isabel. Isabel, listen. I hear Sparrow by the river. Wait. She listened harder. I hear woodpecker far across the lake. She listened even harder. Dolphin just splashed in the ocean. Keep going, said her friends. I hear elephant calling baby. I hear panda munching on bamboo. I hear penguin burp. She giggled. Keep going, said the bunnies. Isabel listened as hard as she could. I hear mountains goat-hooves on the rocks. Achoo! I hear crow sneezing. I hear Max scratch his nose. That's because I'm right next to you, said Max. Wait a second. Oh no, I didn't skip a page. But I heard you from there, said Isabel. She pointed in the direction opposite Max. You heard from all the way around the world, said Max. Wow, said Isabel. Teacher was right again. He is a very wise rabbit. Back at the school, teacher smiled. Why, thank you, Isabel, he said. Bunjitsu Bunny versus Bunjitsu Bunny. Isabel won match after match at the Bunjitsu tournament. No one can beat Bunjitsu Bunny, said Ben. That is not true, said Isabel. Isabel is right, said Wendy. I know someone who can beat her. You will see in class tomorrow. The next day, Wendy entered the school. She was alone. Where is the challenger? Asked Ben. She is standing in front of me, said Wendy. The only one who can beat Bunjitsu Bunny is Bunjitsu Bunny. Isabel laughed. You want me to fight myself? Think you can win, said Wendy. Isabel laughed again. Okay, here goes nothing. Bunjitsu Bunny threw a lightning fast paw her face. Bunjitsu Bunny ducked. Bunjitsu Bunny grabbed her shoulder for a rabbit flip. Bunjitsu Bunny twisted her paw. Ow, 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 she said. Bunjitsu Bunny pulled up her legs and slammed to the ground. Bunjitsu Bunny rolled over and got away. "Do you give up?" she asked herself. "Never," she answered. The bunny fought itself back and forth across the school. It was the toughest battle anyone had ever seen. In the end, she was too tired to move. "I think it was a tie," said Wendy. "I don't know," said Ben. "I think Bunjitsu Bunny won." Isabel stood up. She shook her own paw and said, "That was a good fight. I hope I never have to go against you again." "Me too," she answered. Carrot contest. The bunnies entered the big carrot growing contest. Soon the leaves of Kyle's carrots were up to his knees. The leaves of Betsy's carrots were up to her thighs. The leaves of Max's carrots were up to his waist. Isabel watered her carrots every day, but nothing seemed to be growing. "It is a waste of time," said Max. "You are just watering dirt." "We'll see," said Isabel. Summer arrived. The carrot contest was just 2 weeks away. The leaves of Kyle's carrots were up to his waist. The leaves of Betsy's carrots were up to her chest. The leaves of Max's carrots were up to his chin. Isabel's single carrot leaf reached no higher than her toe. "It's time to give up," said Kyle. "We'll see," said Isabel. On the morning of the contest, they all picked their largest carrot. Isabel waited to pull hers. "I don't think there was a carrot under there," said Isabel. "We'll see," said Kyle. "Just a little bit longer." Everyone's carrots were lined for judging. "Kyle's carrots is the biggest," said the judge. Then he looked at Betsy's carrot. "Wait a minute. Betsy's carrot is a little bigger." Then he looked at Max's carrot. "Now hold on. Max's carrot is even bigger." Wait, stupid face. Isabel pooped her carrot on the table. It was bigger than she was. "And the winning carrot belongs to Isabel," said the judge. "Did you know it would be so big?" asked Kyle. "No," said Isabel, "but I knew it would not be if I gave up." Rolling race. Isabel and Max meet Porcupine. "Hello, Bunjitsu Bunny," said Porcupine. "Hello," said Isabel. "Hello, Bunjitsu Bunny's brother," asked Porcupine. "I'm Max," said Max. "Everyone just called you Bunjitsu Bunny's brother," said Porcupine. "No," said Isabel. "Everyone calls him Max." Sorry about that. "Are you better at Bunjitsu than your sister?" asked Porcupine. "No," said Max. "Smarter than your sister?" Porcupine. "Sometimes," said Max. "Are you faster than your sister?" asked Porcupine. "I am faster than you," said Max. "Faster than both of you," said Porcupine. Porcupine put to the top of a very tall hill. "Let's have a rolling race down that hill." "That's pretty steep," Max whispered to Isabel. "I know," Isabel whispered back. The three climbed to the top of the hill. "Woo! Ready, set, go!" shouted Porcupine down the hill. First Isabel was winning, then Porcupine was winning, then Max was winning. Then Max hit a bush. out, cheered Max. I can't stop, shouted Isabel. Can't stop either, shouted Porcupine. Max ran down the hill. He tackled his sister. Thank you, Max, she said. I was getting dizzy. Porcupine rolled past him. Help, he called. Max chased after him. Your tail is too pointy. I can't grab it, he said. Then Max had an idea. He rolled down the hill, right past Porcupine. The rabbit curled up in a ball. Porcupine rolled it over him and shot into the air. He stuck to a tree. What do you think of Bunjitsu Bunny's brother now? Asked Isabel. His name is Max, said Porcupine. Isabel smiled. And you can call me Max's sister. Falling leaves. Teacher stared out the window. Look at all those leaves. Would any of you help out your school by raking them up? Nobody liked raking leaves. But Isabel raised her paw. Blah, said Ben. I guess. Moaned Betsy. I guess so, said Kyle. But plan until. Bunnies went outside and raked the leaves. Heard that is good luck to catch a leaf or it lands on the ground, said Betsy. They dropped their rakes and waited for a leaf to fall. Soon, one did, and Isabel dove to catch it before it landed. Another leaf broke loose. I've got it, yelled Betsy as she caught it. What do I do with the next one? Said Ben. He caught it on his nose. Another leaf fell. Kyle kicked it into the air and grabbed it with his teeth. Everyone clapped. The bunnies spent the rest of the day catching leaves. Soon they all had big armloads of them. Isabel dumped her leaves on top of the bigger pile they had raked earlier. Now you won't have good luck, cried Kyle. No, said Isabel. They are not on the ground. They are on a pile of leaves. They all added their leaves to the pile. So, where is the good luck? Asked Kyle. Isabel looked at her friends and smiled. Yeah, she shouted as she ran and jumped in the pile. Everybody joined her. It is good luck to have fun, asked Betsy. I feel pretty lucky, said Isabel as she dove back into the leaves. Shooting star. Three bunnies sat looking up at the night sky. Isabel joined them. We're looking for a shooting star, said Max. If you make a wish, when you see one, it's true. A shooting star flashed overhead. I wish for a blueberry pie, said Ben. I wish for new bunchucks, said Wendy. I wish I didn't have to clean my room, said Max. What do you wish for, Isabel? Isabel smiled and walked away. The next morning, Ben found a big, warm blueberry pie waiting for him. My wish came true, he said. I am so happy for you, said Isabel. Did your wish come true? Asked Ben. Not yet, said Isabel. Later that day, Wendy found a new pair of bunchucks next to her old ones. My wish came true, she screamed. I am so happy for you, said Isabel. Did your wish come true? Asked Wendy. Almost, said Isabel. That evening, Max went to his room. It was cleaner than it had ever been. My wish came true, said Isabel. Did your wish come true? Asked Max. It did, said Isabel as she left the room. Later that night, the four bunnies met beneath the stars again. Our wishes came true, said Ben, but I think Isabel had something to do with it. Did you bake me that blueberry pie? Isabel blushed. Yes, she said. Wait, said Wendy. Did you make me those new bunchucks? Yes, said Isabel. And I guess you cleaned my room, said Max. Yes, said Isabel. Will you tell us what your wish was? Asked Ben. I wished my friends' wishes would come true, she said. But you made them come true, she said. But it is easy to make wishes, said Isabel. It is more fun to make them come true. Little footprints. Look what someone wrote in the dirt, said Wendy. It says, I challenge Bunjitsu Bunny. Who wrote that? Asked Isabel. I don't know, said Kyle. Why does he want to challenge you? Because, said Wendy, Bunjitsu Bunny is the best. If you beat her, you become the best. That is just silly, said Isabel. Look at those footprints, said Kyle. Whoever wrote this message is tiny. The footprints led to a cave in the woods. I will deal with this little troublemaker, said Wendy. She went to the cave. Crash! Slam! A boom! Wendy flew out of the cave. Leave it to me, said Kyle. Went to the cave. Boom! Slam! Crash! Kyle flew out of the cave. Go get him, Isabel, said Wendy. No, said Isabel. I have no reason to fight. Then Isabel was yanked inside. Slam! Crash! Boom! Isabel flew out of the cave. Now I have a reason, said, and ran back in. Slam! Crash! Boom! Boom! Crash! Slam! Wait. Out rode Isabel and a little weevil. They fought back and forth. It was a battle like no one had seen before, like in a video. Isabel finally held him down. Stop fighting, she said. The weevil stood and bowed. I am Bunjitsu Weevil, she said. I admit defeat. Why did you want to fight me? Asked Isabel. Because if I could defeat the great Bunjitsu Bunny, then Bunjitsu Weevil would be the best in the forest. Fighting for no reason does not make the best, said Isabel. It makes you a bully. You are right, said the weevil. I see why you are the best. Thank you for the lesson. The bunnies walked back home, saw the little footprints that had led to the weevil. That's funny, said Kyle. Those footprints don't look so small anymore. Invisible bunny. Isabel went for a walk. Hello, Bunjitsu bunny, said a voice. Who said that? Asked Isabel. I did, said the voice. Isabel looked around her. Are you invisible? She asked. No, the voice said, laughing. I'm in front of you. Oh, hi, Katie did, said Isabel. How do you make yourself so hard to sleep? It looks like a leaf, said Katie did. If I stay near leaves, I am almost invisible. I would like to be invisible, said Isabel. I will hide and you try to find me. Isabel stuck leaves in her fur and hid in the bush. Come and find me, she called. I see you, Bunjitsu bunny, said Katie did. You still look like a bunny. I will try again, said Isabel. She rolled in mud, lay down in a mud puddle. Come and find me, she called. I see you, Bunjitsu bunny, said Katie. You still look like a bunny. Maybe I can hide in the water, thought Isabel. Come and find me, she called. Said Katie. I don't see Bunjitsu bunny, but I do see her ears. I know, I still look like a bunny, said Isabel. I guess bunnies can't be invisible, said Katie. You don't know this one very well, said Isabel. Isabel hopped off. Katie waited for her to call. She grew tired on waiting and set out to find Bunjitsu bunny. She saw some bunnies in the meadow, but did not see Isabel. Have you seen Bunjitsu bunny? She asked. Isabel stopped forward. Here I am, she said. You changed your clothes. I did not know that was you, said Katie did. Isabel laughed. That is because I still look like a bunny. A wind. It is a very windy day today, said teacher. A good Bunjitsu student can stand against the strongest winds. Even on Hurricane Hill? Asked Kyle. Yes, teacher. Even on Hurricane Hill. The bunnies rushed to the hill. It was so windy they could hardly stand up. Kyle pounded his chest. No wind can push me down, he said. He crawled to the top of the hill and stood up to face wind. Wendy grabbed him just before he blew away. I know the secret, said Wendy. She picked up a heavy rock and climbed to the top of the hill. I'm doing it, she shouted. But the rock grew heavy and she put it down. The wind picked up her feet. Wendy held onto the rock. Help, she called. Ben pulled her down. I will do this, said Ben. Kyle will get behind me and push. Ben and Kyle inched to the top of the hill. The wind inched them back down. My turn, said Isabel. She climbed the hill. I will push you back, she said, and pushed the wind with her paws. The wind pushed her back. Then she turned her paws sideways. The wind stopped pushing and went right around them. Isabel stood there up on the hill and turned her body sideways. Wind whistled past her. She climbed down to join her friends. How did you keep from being blown down? Asked Kyle. Sometimes it's easier to let something go than just to stop it, said Isabel. Wait a minute. Flying kites. It was a beautiful, breezy day. Let's make kites and fly them, said Isabel. When we went home, make their kites. Then return to the meadow. Isabel's kite looked like a big diamond. Wendy's kite looked like a little diamond. Ben's kite looked like a bat. Where's Max? Asked Wendy. Here I am, said a voice under a giant kite. Isn't that a little big? Asked Isabel. The bigger the better, said Max. They launched the kite into the air. Isabel's kite danced in big circles. Wendy's kite danced in little circles. Its kite darted back and forth. Max's kite went woof and lifted him into the air. Help! He called. Don't let go, shouted Isabel. She raced up a tree to grab her brother. He sailed by right above her. Help! Shouted Max. Isabel had an idea. Quickly, she said to the others, hand me the strings to your kites. Isabel grabbed the strings. Kites lifted her into the air. Isabel's big diamond kite carried her high. Wendy's little diamond kite pulled her fast. Ben's back kite steered her back and forth. She soon caught up to Max. Gotcha, she said. Isabel let go of her kite, and they dropped a little lower. Then she let go of Wendy's kite, and he slowed down. When she let go of Ben's kite, she and Max floated to the ground. That was way too scary, said Max, and he went home. There's still a good breeze, said Ben. Let's go fly our kites. Isabel's kite danced in big circles. Wendy's kite danced in little circles. Ben's kite darted back and forth. Max arrived with his new kite. It was so small they could hardly see it. I'm not taking any chances, he said. They spent the rest of the day with kites in the air and feet on the ground. Bunjitsu Bunny versus the Germs. Isabel had a bad cold. Her nose was stuffy. Her throat was scratchy. Betsy bought some warm soup to help feel better. Colds are caused by germs in your body, said Betsy. When they are gone, you will feel better. New record. I wish I was small enough to chase them out, said Isabel. Betsy laughed. If anyone could, Bunjitsu Bunny could, she said, and went home. Isabel fell asleep. She dreamed she was a Isabel fell asleep. She dreamed she was a tiny Bunjitsu bunny. In front of her was an army of germs. Okay, germs, she said. It is time to leave. We like it here, said the germs. The tiny Bunjitsu bunny kicked the germs. Feet bounced right off them. Ha ha ha, laughed the germs. Bunjitsu bunny is tickling us. Tiny Bunjitsu bunny pounded the germs with mighty Bunjitsu punches. Fist bounced right off them. Hee hee hee, laughed the germs. More tickles from Bunjitsu bunny. Tiny Bunjitsu bunny leaped onto the germs. She bounced right off them. Ha ha ha, laughed the germs. It's a bouncing Bunjitsu bunny. Maybe fast and hard is not the answer, though. Tiny Bunjitsu bunny. She walked slowly up to a germ and gently placed her paws on it. Then she gave it a push. The germ fell backward. Aha! She said. She pushed and pushed the germs. They could not stop her. She saw a light up ahead and pushed them toward it. No! Cried the germs. Out! Shouted tiny Isabel. Suddenly, Big Isabel sneezed. She opened her eyes and sat up. Her nose was no longer stuffy. Throat was no longer scratchy. The germs were gone. Bunjitsu Bunny shook her fist in the air. And stay out, she said. Snowy owl. A big snowstorm came in the night. The next morning, Isabel saw an owl in the distance. Are you okay? She asked. The owl opened her eyes. I am Snowy Owl, she said. I live in the far, far north, but I got lost in the storm. I'm so worried about my family, but I'm too tired to fly home. Isabel thought a moment. How long did it take you to fly here? She asked. 2 days and a night, said Snowy. Then it should take a week to walk, said Isabel. I can walk either, said Snowy, but I can, said Isabel. I'll be right back. Isabel returned with her sled. She helped Snowy aboard and began her journey. For 2 days, Isabel marched through the frosty meadow. Snowy Owl slept at night. Isabel made a shelter out of snow. Isabel slept. Snowy slept some more. On 3 days and 4, Isabel pulled a Snowy through a wintry forest across a frozen lake. Snowy Owl slept at night. Isabel made a shelter out of snow. Isabel slept. Snowy slept some more. On days 5 and 6, Isabel pushed through a snowy-filled valley and crossed an icy bridge. Snowy Owl slept night. Isabel made a shelter out of snow. Isabel slept. Snowy slept some more. On day 7, they crossed snow-covered mountains. Isabel pulled Snowy up the hills and rode with her down the hills, too tired to enjoy the ride. At night, she made a shelter out of snow. Isabel slept and slept. Snowy threw off. Isabel woke up in the evening. 4 owl faces looked down at her. You found your family, she said. Thanks to you, said Snowy, and now we will take you home. The owls helped Isabel onto her sled and carried her through the winter sky. Isabel slept the whole way. The end. Pause the video if you would like to read this. Bunjitsu Bunny. Follow along with Isabel on her all adventures. Read the whole series. I don't actually have the whole series. The end.